What is up, Heffas and friends? Welcome to another episode of Java and Journeys with Jillian. If you're new here to this channel, how are you doing? My name is Jillian, and welcome to another caffeinated adventure. This time, Heffas, we are back at Disney Springs, and we are here to do a few things. Number one, we're going to take a look at Disney's new line called Logo Mania. So you may have seen a lot of glimpses of what this merch looks like on Instagram, TikTok, across YouTube. Basically, it's Disney's color block version of their logo, all in a fun range of different colors. Now, is it lazy? Is it actually genius because there's a color for everyone? I don't know. I want you to be the judge. So we're going to check that out here behind me at the World of Disney. We're also going to follow that up by going to the Hideaway, which I have never been to. So we're going to check off another restaurant here at Disney Springs and talk about, is it hot? Is it not? Is it something that I would suggest Heffas Nation to pour into? Because you all know how I have my rankings here. Is it S tier or is it truly an F and a complete pass? We're going to see, and we're also going to head over to Gideon's to see what their June cookie and specials are going to be like. So buckle it up, Buttercup, and let's go ahead and get on this Disney Springs adventure. Now, y'all, it is a Saturday, and you can see Disney Springs is booked and busy. I do not recommend coming to Disney Springs on a Saturday, especially later in the day, because it is always hectic and crazy. It's hot as HE double hockey sticks out here, and also it looks like it's about to rain and come on down. So let's go ahead and head in because I feel the drops. There's supposed to be severe thunderstorms this evening, so I was telling my co-producer, I'm like, we need to get out here stat. Let's go ahead and check out Logo Mania, because I've seen some cute pieces that I like, of course, in a range of different colors, but I am curious to know what you all think. So we're gonna head into the World of Disney and check it out. Do y'all see why? The World of Disney, y'all, is always like this. It's just super insanely busy, but especially when you come here the weekends, on the weekends in the evening, it is gonna be like this. So remember to pack your patience pants because there are just people everywhere sprawling all about, but we're gonna stay focused. We're gonna hit up Logo Mania. I am like bypassing as many people as I can to get to the right area of Disney Springs. Y'all, I really wish I could come out here on the weekday, like first thing in the morning, but your girl has a job. This is not her first and only thing to do, but you all subscribe, like, share, support Heffas Nation, y'all. I am targeting a goal of 40,000 subs before the end of the year, and I could do that with your help as we earn our way over to try to make this your girl's full-time gig. All right, y'all, so we have found Logo Mania located at one of the exits of Disney Springs. So this is over by the stage area. This is the month of June, by the way, when this is mid-June. But here we have orange, we have blue, we have yellow, we have green, black, and pink. Let's go ahead and start with the pink section since there isn't anyone. I'm actually surprised there aren't more people over here. So that maybe that tells me a little something. But y'all, look at this. I do think this is fun. This is just my little POV. Although, what do you all think? Do you think this is too basic? So here are the backpacks. And the price for the backpacks, y'all, I'm gonna take a look. So this is gonna run you $49.99. So I like to just go ahead and round up. So 50 bucks for the backpack. I like the size of this for your long park days because it's not too large, and really depending on how many people are traveling in your crew. I love backpacks that are like this size. It looks like here you have a pencil pouch. Aww, Fairyland feels. So I think that's the theme of like the pink collection, or excuse me, Fantasyland feels. So that's the theme of the pink collection. And y'all, the pencil bag is gonna run you 20 bucks. You have a little tiny tumbler here. I'm gonna open this up at the top just so you can see what that looks like. And so this is the inside. The tumblers are gonna run you 25. We also have the journals here if you are a stationary Heffas. And the stationery is going to run you $25 basically. Let's see if it's lined or if it's plain. So this is lined. Now, I do like the little tumblers. Again, if you just want to put like some water, if you're local, or maybe you don't like carrying around a lot of liquid, I think those little tumblers could be great also for your kids. Now, if you want a bigger tumbler option, they do have the larger tumblers in the color block, and the larger ones are gonna run you $45. We have that here, of course, with the Disney logo, Walt Disney World, two-tone pink. I like that contrast. We also have the mugs, and these are stackable, which is great, and this is gonna run you $17. Again, with the two-tone pinks. All right, and then you have the Mickey ears. Now, I will tell you all, I think they definitely phoned it in here because there's nothing really to this. I mean, it's fine, I guess, but you know, for $37, I would want a little bit more detailing in my mouse ears. Now, this is a little bit, this is the leather material here, but there's no emblem. Kind of like what you see with the Loungefly special ears. I don't know, y'all, I do think that the ears are a little bit overpriced for this to be as simple as it is, but I don't know. Tell me in the comments what you think. Now, this is what I think is so cute. The Numos, oh my gosh, y'all, so adorable. I do think it would be awesome to have one of these in every color and just have them lined up on a shelf, especially in honor of Pride. So I want to take a quick shout out. Happy Pride to my Heffas fam that's a part of the LGBTQIA+ community. And then you have the tote bags here that I also think are pretty adorable. And this is gonna run you $55, but I like the fact that there is a zipper here. And on the inside, you're gonna have, it looks like a pocket, actually two pockets on both sides, but very spacious tote bag. Y'all, here are your like shoulder bags or fanny packs, however you like to wear it. This is gonna run you a cool $45, but it has the multiple zippers. Now, I love these for when I'm going in and I'm recording things at the park because this fits my camera, my phone, my wallet, lip gloss, like all the basic essentials that you need for just like a quick little run over to the parks. Let's see, anything else we haven't covered here? There's also the notepads. Oh, y'all, I do like this. I'd rather be at Walt Disney World. Well, baby, it depends on the time of year. But y'all, the notepad is gonna run you $13. So this is cute, but y'all, what do you think? So I've run through the prices and we're gonna just look at the different colors now that we've gotten the prices and some of the details out the way. Now, let's look at the black collection. And you all drop down in the comments, you tell me which is your favorite color. I love the Walt Disney tote bag in black. I think that's super cute. Again, y'all, the ears, I'm like, y'all need to get it together. But all the colors have different themes. So we had like the pink is kind of like the Fantasyland. You have the black, which is the Parks After Dark. I think that's pretty clever. I love that. You have the little Mickey plushie here. Yeah, this is the black collection. Now, something that I see as a part of this collection that I am looking back over, I don't see it on the pink, is that they have your blanket right here. And let's see, the throw is going to run you a cool $50, but you have the throws here, but everything else is the same, just in the color black. Oh, y'all, actually, there's also a pullover. And they also have that over here in pink. I don't know how I skipped over that. But here's the pullover. Of course, we just saw the one over there in black. I just wanted to grab the price over here. And y'all, this is gonna run you $69.99, so $70. But they have that a part of the black collection as well. I do like the way the pencil bag looks. Of course, Parks After Dark. Now, y'all, this one actually has a little bit of detailing. So it says Mickey Mouse on the side for these ears. So that's cute, but still, I think this is a little basic for what it is. All right, now here is the green collection. I have to say, I'm not the biggest tote bag person, but I love the tote bags, especially for the beach, like anywhere you're going shopping. Like, especially when I'm running over here and I know I'm shopping for some merch, that I just love the largeness of it. You can fit a lot in it. So your girl may be walking out of here with a couple plushies and a tote bag. I just don't know which color. I think I'm gonna go with the black tote bag, but I love this. And also something that we see that's different that I think I see in other colors, I'll show you all different section, is that you have like the little coin purse here, like the little mini tote. This is gonna run you $20, so $19.99, but you have that here in the green. And listen, my man actually looks decked out, especially with the shoes. Come on now. The shoes are not a part of the collection. Here's our Mickey plushie, the blanket. Okay, y'all, and then you also have this bag. So this is a different style that we see here in the green. And this shoulder bag or crossbody, however you like to wear it, is also gonna run you 40 bucks. We have the tumblers here. And the green collection is the tiki room, which I think is aptly named. All right, y'all, the yellow collection is popcorn on Main Street. And we see basically everything we've looked at in the pink, in the black, in the green, all here in yellow. And y'all check out the blue, which is the last day blues, which, yes, I can only imagine with the amount of money that we're all spending, but especially those of you all who are coming here for your Disney vacation, those blues that you may feel, although I don't know, you may be feeling some elation because let's be real, you're putting in those miles, and especially those of you all who travel with your kids, God bless. I don't know how you do it. So maybe you don't have the blues. Maybe you're like, yes, it's time to go home and get back in that good bed. But hopefully your park experience is nothing but extraordinary and it's fun and you have had a great time. And of course, when vacations come to end, you have a little bit of those park blues. And we have here the orange section, and this is themed as Park Hopper. And so you'll see what's really cute is you have like the monorail that takes you around and really just gives you like that transit vibes that Disney has here to get across to a lot of the different parks, but everything, the collection in orange. Now, that little coin purse that we saw in green, they also have them in the other colors. So they have magnets, they have keychains, they have pencils, and all of that is just located across from everything. I looked over and I was like, oh, they have a lot more. So you have here, like, for example, the necklace, again, the coin purse, you have like the keychains, and the cost of these are going to depend on what color they're labeled as. So like a lot of the keychains are labeled red, so some of those are going to be $15. Anything that's teal is going to be $17, and then the mint is going to be $12. But that gives you an idea of what you're looking at when it comes to the prices of some of these. Now, I do think the bag charm like this in the Park Hopper, this is very cute. And this shawl, this is labeled and marked as, so this is going to run you 30 bucks, essentially $29.99. And I'll say, looking at the cone here reminds me of Disneyland, where they have like in the Cars Land, the cones where you can get some food and some good eats and treats. That gives me that vibe. I miss Disneyland, y'all. Over here we have like the monorail, keychain. Are any of these things that you all like? And to go with the pencil pouches that we looked at, they also have the pencils here. And here in the blue, what is a little bit different in this section is that you have the phone strap here, Main Street USA. This is super cute. And y'all, I have a couple of phone straps. I haven't quite gotten into them though. I need to quit buying phone straps, but I'm like, are you all into this? Would this be something you would actually get? And the phone strap here is going to run you 30 bucks, $29.99. Honestly, for me, I would use this less as a phone strap and more as a bag charm personally, but it shows you there's picture, you hook this onto basically the end and, you know, thus creating the phone strap here. We have everything here in the black and in the pink, and then also in the green. Now, the Logo Mania is not essentially in recognition of Pride, but I'm going to show you all the difference. So we saw those mouse ears, right, as a part of Logo Mania that ran $36.99, so $37. And I think of everything in that collection. I actually think the ears are the thing that's the most disappointing. But y'all, I think it would have been so cute, though I know it's not necessarily tied exclusively with Pride. I think it would have been fun to have this in the center of the collection and tie it together to Pride. And you all see what I mean in terms of the detailing. Look at the bow. This is cute. Again, happy Pride, everyone. I think these are adorable. This to me, and it's that leather material, which is great. This to me is worth the $36.99, not that. I'm just being real, but I want to show you all like a point of comparison, and you'll see here that this is officially a part of the Pride collection. The Logo Mania is separate, but again, I think it would have just, like, come on now, Disney. This should have been tied in the center of all the colors, because I just think that would have been, you know, a creative way of tying everything in. But listen, baby, I'm not on the branding and marketing team. So I know Disney's like, girl, just be quiet and stick to the business that's paying you. Okay, I'll be quiet. I'm just sharing a little bit of my 2 cents. Okay, girl, don't come for me. That is, unless you have a check for me, and I will gladly take a little coin from Disney. All right, y'all, you see how crazy it still is here. This is what you will have to put up with. So brace yourselves for those of you all, especially who are coming out here in the summer and you're coming out to Disney Springs. This is just wild. My co-producer was like, I'm out of here. I'll wait for you at the exit. But going back, Heffas fam, which item do you like most? Have you purchased anything as a part of the Logo Mania for those of you all who are Disney heads? Is there anything that you really like that caught your attention? Or do you think that this is straight up lazy, right? And just another way for Disney to make a quick coin without putting a lot of effort in? Drop down in the comments. I would love to hear your thoughts. Heffas fam, across from Planet Hollywood is Enzo's Hideaway. So we're gonna head on in and see what the wait time is giving. We have just been seated, and you can see that the Hideway truly feels like a hideaway, which I appreciate that. Okay, Maria and Enzo's. No, y'all, this is separate from the actual Maria and Enzo's restaurant. The Hideaway is meant to give you a little bit more of an adult vibe. And y'all, I haven't actually looked at the dinner menu. This is my first time here. This is very impromptu, but I want to show you all. Of course, you have cocktails, you have your appetizers, salads, your mains, everything featured right here. And then on the other side of the menu, you have your wines and your beers. Now, you all know how we're going to be at Java and Journeys and not have any Java in our lives. They do have a sort of espresso martini here, the night flight. So that's going to have that espresso martini with the Sky Espresso vodka, the espresso liqueur, and the cold brew. So y'all, this is like coffee on coffee on coffee. So I think that sounds interesting. And then y'all, look at the rum flight. That is... I was like clutching my pearls. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yes, they definitely were smuggling. They're smuggling on these prices too. Now, y'all, as much as I really want to get that coffee cocktail the night flight, I was scrolling down, and this actually sounds very summery and interesting to give them the slip. So it's going to have that tequila, the Contru, the blood orange, lime, vanilla, basil, agave, and a gunpowder salt rim. So I think I may actually try that. And my co-producer was just pointing this out, but they have the functional cocktail here, non-alcoholic, but you know, good for your wellness and health. These also look very interesting. The crimson bloom, the botanic sun. So yeah, but y'all, I think I'm gonna go with that, give them the slip. And now I just need to figure out what exactly it is I am going to eat. All right, y'all, we figured it out. So we're going to do the prosciutto here with the aged balsamic. I'm excited about that. And then for the main dishes, we're going to go with the capanelle, which you see here. This one is going to have Italian sausage, broccoli, house-made pasta. I'm so excited about that. White wine, roasted garlic, y'all, just some of everything in that. And then we're also going to go with the cannelloni. So that's going to be the fresh egg pasta with the spinach, ricotta, the parmesan, marinara, and toasted breadcrumbs. Here is the give them the slip. Look how refreshing and delicious this looks, Heffa fam. Now this is our tequila-based cocktail with that gun barrel salt rim that we see at the top. Let's go ahead and try this out. You all know how we like to do things here at Java and Journeys. Cheers, Heffas. Thank you for joining me on another Disney Springs adventure. Y'all, Enzo is for real giving them the slip. Like, you're not gonna find him. He's straight up in this hideaway, ducking and dodging, getting away with all sorts of debauchery over here. This cocktail is refreshing, y'all. You taste a little bit of that grapefruit. The tequila is smooth. It's not overpowering anything. I'm gonna try a little bit of this, the salt rim, the gunpowder salt. And that's fine. I was hoping that the gunpowder salt rim would have a little bit of a smokiness to it, you know, like a shooting pew-pew, you know what I'm saying? But overall, this cocktail is fabulous. I would give this a solid 3 out of 5, a recommend if you find yourself here at Enzo's Hideaway. Now, in honor of Pride Month, I want to give a shout out to the cocktails they have that are on special for the month of June. And y'all, I completely missed these. And this was sitting on the table and I just got straight into the menu and I'm like, oh, there are some good looking cocktails on here. So if everything ends up going well with the experience, and so far, y'all, staff super friendly. They were able to get us in, no issues. We didn't have to wait, which is awesome on a Saturday evening here at Disney Springs. But y'all, they have these fabulous looking cocktails. They have this honeydew smash, and you all see this one, like this fruit margarita. They also have this Cranstonian. Y'all, all of these look so delightful. And then check out, you all know I love me a charcuterie board, y'all. I love charcuterie like it's nobody's business because I am that bougie Heffa, okay? I drop down in the comments if you love a good charcuterie board too, okay? They have this, and I was telling my co-producer, I'm like, okay, we need to come back here and just do cocktails and appetizers because your girl is all about the meats and the cheese-it. Now, speaking of appetizers, our prosciutto has just come out. Look at how refreshing this looks. Now, this is our prosciutto and melon. We have the arugula, the aged balsamic here at the top. Oh my gosh, y'all, I cannot wait to tuck into this. All right, y'all, she has hooked up a little plate. We have our prosciutto, our melon, and arugula. Let's go ahead and give this a try. I'm like, this is either gonna be really good or really bad. Let's see. Okay, real talk, I don't like all these things together. Y'all, now I gotta take off the glasses. I do think the melon is good. The prosciutto, good. The arugula, good. Like all the components separately. I don't know that I like the prosciutto with melon. So it's not to say I'm going to finish eating this, but I'm going to eat the components separately. That's just my POV. What do you think, co-producer? Do you like all the components together? It is interesting. It's not for me. I'm just going to be real about that. Y'all, we gave it a try. And like I said, I'm going to keep it real with you. For me, this appetizer would be more like 1 out of 5 Heffas. Not terrible. Again, the melon tastes delicious. It's refreshing. The prosciutto, delicious. So I'm going to eat the components separately. I'm going to eat this appetizer, girl. I'm just not going to eat it all together. It's not a symphony, y'all. The melody is lost. So I don't recommend this appetizer. Unless you are a meat and fruit person, which again, I love charcuterie. So I'm constantly putting together like my dried fruits with the meats and like the jams and things like that. But yeah, I don't like that flavor combination of prosciutto and melon. All right, Heffa fam, here is the caponelli. And they graciously sprinkled some extra Parmesan for my co-producer. It looks tasty. And then here is the cannelloni. I did not add Parmesan cheese to this because I'm like, oh yeah, it's sufficiently cheese at the top. You see all that spinach goodness in the ricotta at the end. So I cannot wait to tuck into this. All right, y'all, hopefully this is tasty. Here's a little up close look. We can get our zoom going right. Let's give it a try. No, this is good. The ricotta, yo, I love me some ricotta cheese. It's so creamy. We have the spinach. I will say my only thing with this that I wish, if I had to pick out something, you will see here, I just wish that there was more of the marinara sauce. That would be my biggest thing for this. So scrape up what you can on the ends if you were to get this dish. But everything is it's tasty. That marinara sauce. So similar to the cocktail, which I think is good. I give this a 3 out of 5 Heffas. More sauce on this, and I did not get this with protein. You can also add chicken or shrimp. Let your server know if you want to try this out if you want protein in it. This is straight up vegetarian for me right now. All right, Heffa fam, let's tuck into this cannelloni. Y'all, the staff is so friendly. One of the managers was coming around. I was always starting to record. She's like, oh my God, I'm sorry to interrupt. I'm like, no, girl, you're good. I appreciate you checking in. The service has been really top notch. I appreciate it. And y'all, here's the Campolini. Let's try that out. There's an up close look at that. I like the flavor of this. It has like a little bit of the kick, y'all, I think because of the meat. A little spice. I am shocked by that. I was not expecting for it to have that spicy kick. Y'all, this is solid. I'm getting some of this broccoli. Now, the only reason why I'm not really eating the meat is because, y'all, this is not me being bougie. This is not like a significant dietary thing, but when it comes to sausages and meats, I have to be careful sometimes because I will experience horrific cramps if I eat any bad meat or meat that's hard for my stomach to digest. So I have to be a little bit careful with that. So I'm dodging around the meat only because I think it has pork, and I'm not sure what type of pork. Anywho, I'm just calling that out. But I love the like kick, the spicy kick in this. I'm gonna take another bite. The pasta's good quality. Again, y'all know this is me not tasting the meat. I think this is another solid dish that I would give a 3 out of 5. How did you think, co-producer? Because this was your dish.
They're both really good.
Yeah.
I think a 3.5, maybe. Yeah.
3.5 for you?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to continue to enjoy this meal here, but so far, all right, Enzo's, you're going to end up on the ranking list, and you are not failing right now. Heffas fam, we have finished our meal, and I just want to show you a quick little tour of Enzo's Hideaway, just to show you the walk back. So they have this really cool wallpaper that I think is pretty admirable. And then you have the back of the restaurant here. You have all the wines over in the corner, the meats over. Let's actually see if we can walk over without getting too much in the way. Because I do think getting a look at the meats is actually pretty neat. Like I said, you have the wine in the corner and a little seated area, which I think is very cozy, and some assorted meats, peppers, cheeses, all sorts of things that just are a delight for anyone who loves a good charcuterie board like me. We're gonna go ahead and head on out. And y'all, this is such a cozy vibe. Definitely fit for a date night. A lot of character and just unexpectedly delightful. All right, friends, so we've had a delicious dinner, and now we are going to head over to Gideon's to check out their June menu. Now friends, we are all the way in the back of the line, but y'all who are not new to Heffas Nation and seeing my excursions over to Gideon's know that we are not new to this, we are true to this, baby. So even though we may be all the way in the back of the line, near Morimoto Asia, y'all, the lines are a lot more intimidating than what they look for the most part. Now I have gotten caught up where it's taken a little bit longer than what I would suspect, but literally, y'all, the only thing to Gideon's, cake, cookies, and cold brew. That's it. So in theory, the line should move. And typically when it's this far back, you're looking at anywhere from like a 20 to 30 minute wait. So if you have some time, especially if you put your name down at your favorite spot, what I would recommend, especially if you don't have reservations for somewhere or if you get here early, put your name down at a restaurant, come over, and then just go ahead and stand in line. It's not bad. Where it's bad is if Gideon's is on a virtual queue. If the virtual queue is enacted, then you are looking at multi-hour waits. And if that's the case, go ahead and get on the virtual queue and then walk around, do your shopping, do your eating, just hang on out until your name is called up to then join the queue. But y'all, let's go ahead and get into this menu for the month of June. And I love the picture, and I love collecting these just as like little bookmarks. But it looks like the cookie special is going to be this butterscotch cookie, which I am looking forward to having because it has cookie butter. And I'm like, okay, yes, let's give it a shot. And then they have the usual favorites here, as well as the enormous cake slices. And so we'll see what the cake slice is when we make it into Gideon's. And if you want to know the specials ahead of time, check out their Facebook page. I am not really active on Facebook at all. So unless my sister tells me, I just kind of show up and wait to be surprised. So we'll see the specials when we walk in addition to the butterscotch cookie. All right, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and check out the cookies and the cakes that are going on for the month of June here at Gideon's. All right, y'all, let's check this out. So here is the cookie butterscotch cookie. And then we also have our usuals, which are the triple chocolate chip cookie. We have right here the original chocolate chip. Also the pistachio toffee cookie, as well as the banana bread chocolate chips. And now we are going to get into the cake. Similar to the butterscotch cookie, they also have like the limited edition cake, same flavors. It looks like they also have a pride cake for the month of June, which is pretty awesome. So I think I may actually try that. And they also have their true red velvet cake, and then as well as their peanut butter chocolate cake. Now, y'all, you'll have to drop down in the comments and tell me which of these cake slices would you get. The red velvet is bomb. I've had that before. I don't think I'm going to do the limited edition cake because I'm not gonna lie to y'all, she looking, now granted this has been out on display, but looking a little dry. But I think I'm gonna try the pride cake and get the cookie. And y'all, they also have more cookies here, the cookies and cream. You have the peanut butter crunch, as well as the original chocolate chip, the pistachio, and the triple chocolate chip. Heffa fam, we have made it back home with our Gideons in tow. So I wanted to show you all the limited edition pride cake. Now this is going to be a funfetti cake on the inside, and there is dark chocolate coating, and of course you all see the rainbow icing on the outside, and the dark chocolate is a ganache. And then we have the limited edition butterscotch cookie. Y'all, I am looking forward to trying this out. Now, the team member at Gideon's told me that the way the owner has suggested that this be eaten is that you have a cup of coffee. So you all know, I was not gonna leave you hanging. We have our Java here. And y'all, I just made this with Elphaba, my emerald and gold goddess. And with Miss Elphaba here, we did twice the magic because y'all, I added my Harry Potter, or I should say more appropriately, my Wizarding World chocolate hazelnut coffee from Epic Universe. Added that into the hopper, made my coffee with Miss Elphaba. So we have all the magic here as Tinkerbell is showing us. All it takes is just a dash of magic. So y'all, we are ready. We have our coffee. I did not add any creamer or anything. Y'all, this chocolate hazelnut coffee, do not sleep on it if you find yourself going to Epic Universe and you have a grinder and you want to take some good coffee home. This is actually legit, and I am shocked how legit this is. But I didn't want to add any creamer or anything to this since we have the cake here. And so going back, what she recommended is that basically you take the cake and you dunk it in the coffee. That's the intention. That's the point of it. So I'm like, all right, girl, you don't have to tell me twice. Any excuse to have some Java with some cake, I'm here for it. And then we have our cookie. So actually, before we get into our coffee and cake, let's start with the limited edition cookie. Let's break it up here. All right, y'all, this is the inside. And I'll tell you, this was very easy to just break apart with one hand, as you all saw. Very crumbly. Let's take a taste of it and see if it is any good. Okay, that is nice. So the chips around the cookie are for sure white chocolate chip. And y'all, you taste the cookie butter, you taste the butterscotch. This reminds me of a Biscoff cookie, a very moist Biscoff cookie. You have the sweetness from the white chocolate, just bringing all the cookie butter and the butterscotch together. She is a sweet cookie, so we're gonna go ahead, take a sip of our Java. Cheers, Heffas. Y'all, I'm telling you, I am shook at how good this coffee is. You really don't even need creamer with it. And I was just at Epic Universe yesterday for Juneteenth, so if you happen to miss that video, check that out. But y'all, I almost purchased another thing of coffee from the chocolate shop at the Wizarding World. They also have the coffee located in the main gift shop when you walk in. But I resisted the urge only because I've only gone through half the bag of beans and I still have so many coffee beans from other places that I need to go through. So I will be looking to probably purchase more coffee beans later in the fall at my next Epic Universe visit. Y'all, this cookie is solid. She is a bit on the sweeter side, but if you are a Biscoff fan, you will love this cookie. And I like Biscoff flavored things or Biscoff crumbled or like mixed into something. I don't really typically like the cookie just itself. I have to like dunk it in something or have it added to something, which I know is probably strange, but y'all, as the world turns, that is a delicious cookie. If you are a cookie butter, butterscotch / Biscoff person. All right, now we're gonna get into our pride cake and we're gonna try it just as intended. So because of the size of my cup, this obviously, I mean, you see how thick and tall she is. It's not going to fit in this cup. So I'm gonna take my forks. This is probably gonna actually be a little difficult. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say this is gonna be difficult because you have that dark chocolate ganache to break through, but the cake itself feels moist. Y'all check that out. And there's like also like a vanilla cream, maybe like an icing. I kind of want to try this a little bit before I dunk it in the coffee. So I'm just gonna try the little bits that are on the fork. Okay, y'all. The Funfetti cake on the inside is moist. There's like a vanilla icing. That's nice with the dark chocolate. Okay, now we're gonna try to dunk this in the coffee and see how it tastes. So let's try that out. I'm gonna put her in there for just a second. All right, you see that she's gotten a little melted there. All right, let's give this a try. Come on, Gideons, don't disappoint me. Y'all, that's nice. It just gives a nice flavor to the coffee, especially because this is already a chocolate hazelnut. I'm gonna try to dunk another piece in. All right, I'm only gonna do one dunk this time. All right, let's see how this second bite tastes. Yo, I like that. I mean, that is tasty. Now I'll tell you, if you're going to dunk something like this in your coffee, you want to do it with that dark chocolate ganache because the cake itself is very moist on the inside. So my thought is if you try to dunk just the cake part, it is going to completely fall apart in your coffee. So make sure you have the chocolate bits. And, you know, in theory, I should take this whole thing with my hand and just like, ooh, see, y'all see that piece just fell off all over my table. I'm gonna have to clean that up. But this is just going to be too much. Now, I would say what I would have liked, if that's the intended purpose of it, is for it, because Gideon's has these little like bites. I would have liked for it to be like maybe the size of like a pedophore. And that way it's small enough to actually do a more complete dunk. And maybe they could give it to you in the set of like maybe 4 pedophores or something like that, or 3. I would have liked that. But y'all, I'm just going to take this bit that's on my table here, mostly chocolate, and just like enjoy that, dip that in my already, you see why I didn't add any creamer to this, my already like chocolate hazelnut flavored coffee. If you love dark chocolate, that's good. But I do think that this is hard to just like dunk on itself. So that's just a little bit of feedback. Make it a little bit smaller. Y'all, otherwise this is fun. Gideon's also for the month of June. They actually have pride cake slices. The pride cake is excellent. I've had it before. It's fun. It's a nice way to celebrate pride. Vanilla cake in all the colors with the icing. It's so good. It's like a classic cake. I love it. I wanted to try something a little bit different with this one because I have not had the limited edition pride cake. So I wanted to try that. And y'all, I'm not mad about it. This is good. Am I going to eat all this? No. Like, y'all, I can't. Like, the big backness in me wants to. There's no way. Typically with Gideon's, what I recommend, first of all, with Gideon's cake, typically you store it in your fridge. The cookies, no, just the cake. The cookies you can just like put in an airtight container to preserve the freshness of it. I actually have the Gideon's cookie tin. But y'all, it typically takes me a good week or so to go through. Oftentimes, I always end up throwing out like a chunk, a portion, just because it's so hard to get through all of it. And then you all know here at Java and Journeys, we're going out to a lot of places. So it feels damn near impossible sometimes to get through all the sweets. But I do actually really like this butterscotch limited edition cookie. It's solid. I like the limited edition pride cake as well. That one's great, especially if you have a nice, robust drip coffee or espresso to go with that. Don't put any sugar, none of that in it. Just have your coffee black and strong because, y'all, the sweetness of the cookie, especially with that chocolate ganache, will give you all the flavoring, all that sweet that you need. Heffa fam, have you liked, subscribed? Have you sent your girl some high points? We are en route to hitting 40,000 subs, and I'm so grateful for those of you all who have joined Heffa Nation. And there's always room in Heffa Nation for so much more. So stay tuned to the next caffeinated adventure. And until that time, Heffas, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye. Have a good one.